Well, hello and welcome. Welcome to Joy's radio show. Oh my goodness, it's so good to have you here with us today. And wherever you are, is it good morning? Is it good afternoon? Is it good day? Good evening? Maybe to a few of you, it's good night, but wherever you are, welcome to the new Joy's radio show. It's Wombology, and you can find us on Fave Unite FM radio. But today, we're going to be talking with a featured guest speaker. And I'm going to get excited, which I always do, because this lady is bringing us so much wisdom, love, and newness, because we're in the time frame of what, here, and now, AI. But let me share a little bit with you about what we do here. I am Joy Ruffin, and the work that I do is as a leadership and signature style specialist, far different from what you consider the, I don't like the word average or common, most stylists. It's much deeper and more in depth than that. And you will be getting different notifications of all the different things that I do, and that I'd love to invite you to join me with ASAP at some point in time. But today, this show is dedicated to my featured guest speaker. Let me just tell you a little bit about her, because then we're going to get going and we're going to have fun in the process. Her name is Suzanne Luke, L-U-K-E, a nice easy name to pronounce. Most of you know, or you'll get to know, I have a hard time with pronunciations. Suzanne, oh my goodness, I met her in a group that I belong to, a community that I belong to. It's called The Great Discovery, and I'm sure maybe we'll touch on that a wee bit. But she is a co-founder of AEO Mom Boss. She's going to tell us exactly what that means in just a second or two. Published author of the Journal for Acme Workshop and creator of the Moms and AI Summit. Ooh, we'll have to hear more about that. Suzanne is all about empowering heart-led entrepreneurial men and women to simply simplify their tech and turn their passion into profit. Now, I could go on and on and on, but what I want you to do is just sit back and listen as I ask you to help me welcome Suzanne Luke. Suzanne, welcome.
Yay! I love your voice. I want to interview you.
Oh my God! Thank you, Suzanne. I would love that, and nothing would please me more. But I'm excited for you and what you're doing, because AI is way beyond out there in the stratosphere now, and you have taken it to a different level. So before we go into the depths of what we're going to be talking about, we're going to be talking about a lot, Suzanne. How did you get into, we're going to talk about moms, because I know you're an AI for moms, but what brought you to AI, and why are you so passionate about it?
Well, thank you so much for having me here, Joy. I just want to say that, and I'm very excited about this. That is a great question. So I'll make this story as short as possible, because it could go on and on ad nauseum, but we won't do that. I was a single mom for about 10 years, and I have two amazing kids. And during that time, it was really tough to balance multiple jobs and take care of your kids alone. And I'm sure some moms out there, even moms who are married, probably can relate to this, and parents in general can. There's a lot of single dads out there too. And so COVID hit, and I realized, you know what, I'm going to start my own business. And I was paying people to market it for me and do all my marketing. And I was getting to a point where I was like, this is very, very, this is not working, and so I opened my own business. Fast forward, I opened my own business. It was called Suzanne's Microgreens. I'm a little bit of I'm into plants and biohacking a little bit. Yeah. So I did that, and I started teaching myself marketing and digital because I saw that my kids were growing up, and I did not want to lose touch with them. I knew they were going to be growing up in this generation. And I was like, I'm going to, I was just like, I'm going to lose them. And so that's really what spurred on.
Suzanne, I love that. And you know why? For many reasons. I want to piggyback on something that you said, because for me and for you, not even asking, it's all about family first, then relationships, and then community. However you break it down, those are the three paramount foundational. So I love what you said about you didn't want to lose your kids. But tell us a little bit about the microgreens, because I'm a health enthusiast. How did that, what are you still doing there before we go deep into AI?
So this is great. So I was, for many, many years, probably about 8 years, I was a vegetarian. And I learned about microgreens, and they're these tiny little plants. They literally only grow about 4 inches tall, and they are just jam-packed with nutrition. And I won't get into I won't nerd out here, but it's like the most nutritional, that's the most nutritional stage that they're in. And I grew some and I ate them and I loved them. I started feeling better. I noticed that I was not getting sick at all. And I started sharing them with people, and it actually grew into a business where I started providing meals and microgreens for restaurants around town and for, private people and for businesses. And it just kind of grew from there. And then when COVID happened, actually, let me back up and say something real quick. During that time, I had a kitchen that I would make all this in, but I did not have a brick and mortar building. So I delivered all of my stuff. And at that time, no one delivered. Like, everyone delivers now. Like, since COVID, everyone delivers, but no one did at the time. And my business took off during that time because, so that kind of just a little funny story there.
Suzanne, I meet the most fascinating people. You can put your tiara on, because I'm a health enthusiast. I like to think that I keep up to date with stuff too. I think I'd heard of microgreens, but I didn't really get it in my noodle what it really was. And for 8 years, pretty much, and you were a vegetarian. My goodness, you are no longer?
No, you know what, Joy? I started doing research and I went straight to carnivore for a while. So I'm like, it's amazing. That's a whole nother thing. But it was, I've experimented. Like I said, I'm into biohacking. I'll experiment on myself if it means increasing my quality. Yeah.
Listen, I bow to you because all the time you were sharing that story with us, and thank you for that. I'm thinking of a lady that I interviewed the other day, and she was always enamored of Wonder Woman. Well, you're the new age Wonder Woman. I mean, really, because of this biohacking and all of that. That's fantastic. I love that. Anyway, I'm a health enthusiast, so we have much to talk about, and you can share something with me. But let's go to what you're doing now. You gave us an insight of how it came about. But let's talk about AI for moms. And then tell me what behind you, they can't see it, but I can, AEO Mom Boss. Give us the lowdown on that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Yeah, AEO Mom Boss was kind of born from my journey of getting into tech, teaching myself tech, and wanting to stay in touch with my kids, and ultimately simplifying everything, because we are just absolutely, especially as moms, and I know you get this, Joy, we just get more and more heaped on our shoulders. And this is not a victim. I don't come from a victim. This is like an observation.
I know.
And it is not easy to simplify, but it's something that if you can do it, it's just going to make things a lot better. And so I decided I'm going to simplify my life. And then I saw these things working for me, shared them with some of my friends. And then I'm like, you know what? I want to tell this to everyone, I want everyone to have this. So my goal is to go into this revolution, because it's like a wave. And I'm kind of a surfer here. I don't know, y'all can't see it in the background, but I keep my surfboard in the background of my backdrop too. That's what this is back here. But AI is like a wave, and you want to jump it and surf it. And this is not saying you have to agree with everything, and this is not a judgment on it. It's just here it is, y'all. Let's integrate it and infuse it with our energy. And what do you want to create with it? How do you want to mold it? Because what you think, how you feel matters, and you can create a whole reality based on that.
Suzanne, I'm just, I don't put anybody on a pedestal. I don't kowtow to anyone, but I do give deep admiration and respect for those who come with explanations that are simplified and easy for the layman. You use the terminology, and I like the way you use it, because I use it all the time. I said, I just simply ride the wave, up and down and around and over. Because if you're about being a perennial student and learning and making yourself aware and keeping up to date, you have to ride especially today. You don't have to, my friend said, you're invited to ride the wave. So I love that. So is that how you came to getting into technology? I love the phrase, I didn't want to lose my kids. That just warms my heartbeat. But beyond that, what is it that AI for moms is all about? Give us a synopsis for that before we go into the business aspect of it.
Sure. Okay, so I created tools because a lot of moms actually are revenue generators in their family as well.
Yes,
And
yes.
a lot of them are the foundation of the family. So if mom goes down, whole family goes down, and so I wanted to have ways that supported her with her fun with her kids, making basic things that she had to do, like, dinner or budgets, a little bit easier, as well as she gets to grow her business at the same time. As moms, a lot of us put ourselves, we take care of everybody else, and then we're like, well, I'll get to me later. And you can't, exactly, right, Joy? Yes, and you gotta as you can't lift anyone else up if your cup isn't full. And so I thought, how can I simplify and make this super fast and easy? Because the last thing moms have is time. Yes. And so these tools, absolutely. So these tools do things like, an example would be like, you can input some of your budget in there, and it will create a way for you to manage your budget that month, or go back and look at your past months of your budget and figure out how to possibly save money, move money into a different spot. And there's also affirmations in there with a knowledge base of many wealth generators there that encourages you as you're reading this and as you have your budget. There's also apps in there that help you create a book with your kids. That's something that I love to do with my kids. I homeschool them, and I'm always looking for ways to integrate us working together with technology without losing ourselves to technology. Like, we use it, we don't want to be used by it. And so I have a book writer tool in there, and I'm actually working on building an app that's a storyboard, because my son loves to do stop motion. And so I was watching him create, and him and all his buddies, they actually kind of make a story before they make their videos with the stop motion. And so I thought, it'd be so cool for them to type in their story and have like all these images come out like a storyboard. And my son was like, yeah, I'll use that. And I was like, okay, done, I'll build it. So I'm working on that right now. But, and then there's tools for your business, like, 30 days of social media posts that takes you 5 minutes of inputs, and then boom, it's got it down there for you. You just copy and paste and upload it into your social media. Or, helping you write a book so that you can sell an ebook, or you can give it to your customers, or use it as a lead generator. And am I going too deep in this? Am I taking too long? No, but I'm kind of rambling right now. I feel like
no, Suzanne, we are like minds, stick together. But I love so much of how you're expressing this to us, the layman. As you already know, I love technology, and it's not because I'm a happy senior. It's just because it's not my wheelhouse, but I love it, and I'm always happy to align with people. I heard you say your son wanted the storyboard and you were going to help him, and then I'll build it. Oh my God, I wouldn't know where to start. And then you said technology, AI, is use it, not have it use you. I love that. Expound on that a little bit further, because two things. I think too many people are allowing it to take over completely, as opposed to having it get to know them and then create the essence, the core, the heart and soul of who they are. Number one. And then how old is your son? I missed that. How old is your son?
He's 13.
Oh my God, what a great age. Okay. And then you said homeschool. How did I miss that? Are you homeschooling both of your kids? Oh my God.
Yes, ma'am.
you listen, that is Wonder Woman for me. Okay, go back. Let's go back to how are you doing this building for him, whatever you're building, and then let's talk about how to not have AI use you.
Joy, I love the way you just said how infusing it with your essence, how you were talking about that. Yes. I love the way you said that. Thank you so much for presenting that. Mm-hmm. I believe that we infuse it with our energy. I believe that. I also think it is a tool. And just like anything, like if you have a knife can cut an apple for you so you can feed yourself, or a knife could be used to end someone's life. So it isn't really the tool. It's the energy, the consciousness, behind it, and behind how that tool is used. So with my kids, it would be real easy to lose them to devices. And I think a lot of us out there can relate, and we've seen it. Even if we can't relate to it, we can see it out there in society. And if you think about it, the modern day mom and parent, I'm just going to say parent and grandparents, are dealing with something that, yeah, go ahead, Joy. Go ahead. You're about to say something.
No. You're hitting on all the things that the divide between our generations, but that yet the connection is heartwarming to me, Suzanne, because you just mentioned something that I see all the time. I go out a lot, not only networking, but used to din with hubby and then with friends. And I see that people are glued to this technology, these phones. It's like they're sitting at the dinner table and they in turn cannot communicate with each other. They're communicating with the phones. And I think I love the phone and technology, but I think somehow we have to learn more to cut it off and separate it from the intimacy of real one-on-one connections. So that's what I'd like for you to speak to a little bit, because our energy is going too much into being consumed. It's you know what, Suzanne, speak to this, because I see it as a mild, different type of addiction.
I think you're spot on. Joy, I think you're spot on. I think there was billions of dollars spent to figure out how to make that happen. And I don't mean to sound like a conspiracy theorist. I think that's just psychology and sales and what business some businesses do out there. I think the modern day parent and grandparent is dealing with something they've never had to deal with before. This is like a new precedence, and so we're sort of in this place where there is no guidance. And we're all trying to figure this out and not get lost ourselves. I know for myself personally, and ladies and gentlemen, I dropped the ball. This is not me coming up here pontificating like, I got this figured out. This is, hey, man, I'm, human just like everyone else. I noticed I was on the computer a lot. And my kids are like, Mom, are you still on the computer? And I'm like, that's not good that my kids are asking me this, And I'm not on there like screwing around, like scrolling. This is work. But still, it doesn't matter. They don't see the difference of that. They don't know. No,
they don't.
Right.
And they emulate everything that they see. Ultimately, kids pick up on the vibe and the energy that's around them. And, Suzanne, you said and it's so true, because I'm in that generation, and many of my friends have their grandkids come to visit and spend time. And they said it's hard for them to get them to put that phone down at the dinner table because nobody sits around anymore. So what you're saying is powerful. And I think somehow you, me, all of us, I'm into Dr. Zeus now, you, me, I, all. But we need to find a way to do exactly what you just said. Your kids say, Mom, are you still on the computer? We need to find that break, however we do it. And we're all in the pioneering beginning stages, but I'm with you all the way. So how have you transitioned from that space to being more in touch with the kids now?
I love the way you put your words together, Joy. I just got to say that you have a way with words. I really like it. You're very poetic.
Thank you.
That's a very good question. One of my examples is, I'll give two examples. One is we don't have any devices when we eat dinner. And now you can judge however you want this. We don't have dinner together every single night at this big table or anything. But at least 3 times a week, we all sit down and we just kind of vibe together with nothing there. Now, it turns out when we started demanding that, it started happening more naturally. And now it's pretty much we all understand at dinner time, we're going to chill out. Nobody's allowed to have devices here. And we end up talking and organic conversations happen. And then all of a sudden we're laughing and it's just, it's a great time.
It's heavenly. Yeah. It's heavenly. Suzanne, for those who are listening now to what you just explained, if they can begin to incorporate, by the way, I work everything in 3s and 5s, whatever that means to you or anybody.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I do something similar.
But three days a week to sit and not demand, but command a room or a setting, a table where you sit and really have an intimate conversation, fun and laughter and all of that. I think if people can just walk away with that in itself was worth the time. And I like that. That's when you chill out. And I love the expressions that I'm coming into the new age with. Good for you. Let's talk about simplicity. Ooh, simplicity through AI. I think you've alluded to it in little subtle ways, but Let's expound on that more, because ease and simplicity, and that we're in this casual mode now, almost too much so. I think we all want that, but how are we going to get into it and keep our foundational clear, solid?
Wow, you've got some great questions, Joy. What I think is, we are bombarded with a barrage of information all the time.
All the time.
And this could be taken like in your relationships. This can be taken also in business, I think. The more you can simplify, and to me, that means strip away, the better off you're going to be. And I believe we're going to naturally shift that way a little bit more on a grander scale. I don't think it's going to happen right now, but I think we're going to see that happening. Yes. And I'll use an example of it. One is, I may go to my closet and look in my closet and I go, I don't have anything to wear, but I'm looking at like 50 pieces of clothing right in front of me. Now, I may have only worn 20% of what's in there, really, if I'm being honest with myself. And there's somebody else in this world who could get a lot more value out of the other 80% that's in there. So now what I've started doing is get rid of that 80%. Just be ruthless and trim the fat. Get rid of it. Because you know what happens? You clear space for something better that serves you even better to come in, and it won't take up that much space. And it eases up your brain capacity, and you don't have to make as many decisions, so you don't have that decision fatigue all the time. And that allows your creativity to just have this explosive energy. And that's really where we want to be. I believe having a purpose-driven life. I mean, you never want to retire from that. I mean, look at you, Joy. Y'all don't know, but what you see right now is as much energy as she's had every single time I've interacted with her. She's really like this. And that's somebody who's living in their passion. That's somebody who really loves life. They don't need a vacation from it. They don't want to retire from it. Every day is fulfillment. And the simpler you can get, and if I can have tools that help people do that, whether that's like building their website super fast while it's being AI optimized at the same time, and they don't have to do code and learn all this crap in the background they don't even want to do, then by all means, let's put it together and do it for you, sister. That's how I feel. So,
well, Suzanne, you gave me a compliment with words, but let me tell you, like attracts like. And I have to tell you, you know that my work as a signature style specialist and working with women who want to upgrade, up-level, whatever their image, you gave the 80-20% breakdown and going into the closet. That analogy had me cracking up, because that's exactly what I do when I work with women, because we purchase so much that we don't use. We wear it once and it doesn't kind of do it. But the analogy and how you aligned it with AI and simplifying it was just brilliant. So good for you. And then you're bringing me into the equation. I never will knock that. That was really good, because that's true for all of us, no matter what arena you're dancing in. I mean, it happens. You find that you're only using maybe 20% of all that other stuff that you have lined up there. So it makes a big, big difference. How do we go? This leads right into digital detox. Now, I love both digital and I love the word detox. So how are we? I mean, I might have the answer, but what is it? How are you aligning the two, and how are you conversing with others about that to benefit them?
Oh man, these are good. So I'll start it with this. I love trees. People who know me know how much I love trees. And I do. And I literally run 100 miles every month to raise awareness and funds to take care of trees and plant trees. And I call it 100 for Trees. And I've been doing that for probably about like 4 years now. And my purpose in saying that story is I may be sitting at a computer a lot, many hours out of the day, but almost every day I get up and I go run. And when I run, I have okay, here comes the tree hugging hippie Suzanne out right now. But there's a particular tree on my run, and I hug that same tree every single time. I even have a name for her. And I hug her. And that moment of hugging that tree and not listening to anything and not being at a screen and feeling the bark and the ground underneath my feet as I'm running. And I know not everyone's a runner. Just kind of hear me on the story here. And if you can kind of vibe with me for a minute, you'll get the idea. It's a complete connection to nature. And something happens when you just allow yourself to be in nature and you take away the digital aspects of your life. Something happens. You can't make it happen. You can't always explain what's happening. There's neuroscience and biology to back up all of it. And you can dive into that as deep as you want, that deep rabbit hole. And I'd be happy to go that direction, but I won't geek out right now. But the point is, whatever that thing is, it happens when you're out in nature. And it is like a rejuvenation. It's really just this wonderful feeling. And suddenly you feel like, okay. And ideas will come to you and solutions to problems that you had maybe 30 minutes before will come to you. And then like the next person you run into, you're like, hi, how are you doing today? You just made their life better. It's just infusion of positive energy. And I just don't see how that could ever be a negative thing. And I believe, and I'll close with this, talk about it, but I'll finish with this. I believe that we're going to be needing this more and more in the future as we become a more digital and AI-based economy, education system, economic system, political system. Everything is shifting that direction. I think it's going to be very important for our spirituality to also follow at a faster pace than technology, if that makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense, my lady. I have to tell you that they say the louder you laugh, the truer it is, and the more it resonates with you. And I was just chuckling away in love with what you said there, because I love trees. I've always loved trees. And to sidestep here a wee bit, because we have some time, I live in a golfing community, a beautiful golf course, beautiful view. My husband is a golfer. I tried, it wasn't for me, but I love the environment. I love the setting. It's all green and beautiful and all kinds of trees. So my neighbor across the way, not knowing it, and she didn't know that, I wasn't a golfer. She said, I don't know how anybody who doesn't play golf would want to live in a golfing community. Because I said, I do, because it's pretty, because it's beautiful, because it's green, because there's every type of tree and foliage here. And I love nature. And plus it's gated. So she said, oh, so I'm laughing away while you're explaining that. And then too, you said about nature, it's time to rejuvenate and to really sink into our souls. And you could go deep into a rabbit hole here. I get that. But in the meantime, I think in alignment with that, because you have it, I have it, and most of the people who are tuning in here will have it, there's a heart and soul connection that just automatically aligns you with nature. But we are resetting everything now, Suzanne, everything. And this technology, as much as most of us really, really love it and aren't fearful of it, we have to learn, like everything else, like phones. 30 years ago, we didn't have cell phones. What are we going to do with it? So what are some of the tips and the nuggets that you can share with us about the digital detoxing and the nature and biohacking and AI? Lump it all together and give us any pearls of wisdom that you can as we continue here. We have some time yet.
Yeah. So I know for myself, if you can, and I kind of come back to mom with this, because that's sort of the stage of life that I've been coming through so much, but I think many of us can relate to this.
Absolutely.
I believe, yes. I believe that if you take little nuggets of time and although, well, let me say this. Daily, you're going to need a few nuggets that are going to ground you, so to speak. So that could be literally grounding, like you take your socks and shoes off, go walk outside. Even if you're walking on cement, just do it. And ideally you want to do it like a forest bathing type thing, but we can't. That's really cool. I love your reference of the golf course. It's the same thing. You're kind of like you're bathing yourself in nature out there. And so I think doing that, ideally, if you could do that as soon as the sun comes up, and I'll try to nerd too hard here, but there's a ton of evidence out there of the particular rays that hit your eyes and your retina during the sunset are very unique, and it has an impact on things like your circadian rhythm. So if you can incorporate tiny little things like that. Even if you go outside just for a few minutes and do maybe 4 box breaths, if you do some grounding techniques, a lot of people are fans of yoga. That's another one. There's little things that you can do and incorporate into your day. You don't have to do like massive blocks and chunks of time. Now, with that being said, life can become so stressful that people come to a point where they almost want to blow up their life. Now, before you get to that point, it would be really great to give people an opportunity to have like a 24-hour to 48-hour. Ideally, you would want longer than 3 days because it takes that long just for you to decompress, really. But not everybody can do that. I was, a single mom for 10 years. I totally get that we cannot all do this. If you can do a 24-hour window straight where you are outside, maybe camping, and even if you're not a camper, glamping, do the RV thing, go to right next to a national park. And this may seem like a tall order, or it doesn't even have to be, it can be beach, it can be the mountains, wherever, but get someplace like that and just let nature do her thing. And if you can pull away for at least 24 hours, you would be amazed at you said this very well. I think you said reset, and then you said another word that started with an R, and I can't think of it, right? Rejuvenate. Yes, reset. You would be amazed the natural reset that will happen. Nature is so giving and so infusing that a very short period of time will give you an exponential result. It's like compounding. Nature has a compound effect. We all know compound effect when it comes to like crypto and when it comes to money, but nature's the same way. That's like the original compound effect. And you can see it and you can feel it literally. And so I actually have something that I'm putting together that's similar to that. That's going to be a retreat for moms who have businesses. And there's a friend of mine out here, and she has a beautiful place called the Wandering Path. And I want to take women out there and just, 24 hours at a time. Let's just detox just for 24 hours, and it's a beautiful space. And like I said, something happens whenever you're out there. Thank you for letting me talk about that. I know I was just going on and on.
Well,
thank you, Joy.
No, Suzanne, we all need to hear a lot of what you're sharing. And I take what you're saying and align it in the same verbiage, but different meaning, because we all take things in differently. We're talking about nature, and we're talking about grounding. We're talking about balance, really. And however you do that, not everybody is a yoga person, or they don't know how to decompress and detox, whatever. You find what works for you and find your balance. There's no question that nature will give it to you, but not everybody likes to be out on the grass and hugging the trees. I do. I mean, I'm not hugging the trees, but I love trees and birds and nature, water too. So everybody will do it differently. But the thing is, find what it is for you. That's all you're saying. Find whatever that is to you that's going to give you the balance and bring you back to the heart and soul connection. And you mentioned soul before. Sink into your soul, because this is something, Suzanne, you will love. A friend of mine said to me, I take all of these nuggets and they get up here and then I can't lose them, which is a good thing. She said to me, our body does not have a soul. Our soul has a body. Now you have to let that marinate for a while, because what you said and how you expressed it, and me as well, it takes on different meanings for different people. I don't know what to say here, because I want to ask you before we wrap up here, and we have some time, where do you feel, because feelings, emotions rule the universe, love, where are we going as far as you can see now with all the work you're doing with AI? Where are we going with this technology for the layman, for us, not for tech, for space and all of the other stuff, but where are we going with it?
I really love the way you put that on the soul. I'm still like there. I agree with you. So is this like, where am I allowed to like say my opinion here? Like, this is
absolutely. You are allowed to say your opinion here whenever you come. And I hope you'll come again and again, because I intend to do this until I drop from the planet. And I'm sure you can come with different information or the same thing over and over and over. There's one of the things that we decided to do this station here, Suzanne, was because we want women's words to reign. We're birthing wisdom and shaping worlds, but this applies to men as well. I'll have men guests as well. But there's no shame here. There's no guilt or blame. Express your soul, whatever it is.
Oh my gosh. You make me feel so good, Joy. Okay.
It's mutual. It's mutual. You're educating
I
me
believe
in the best way.
It's symbiotic here. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe that. So, man, these are really great questions. There's a massive reset, I believe, going on, and that's we're seeing the shift. Yes, you said that earlier. I'm going to piggyback on that. We see it in all industries and spaces, and like I said, economic, schooling, or the traditional school system, in politics, in medicine. It's everywhere. There's a shakeup and a shift, right? Now, the cool thing is, I see it like this. I don't know if anyone is like kind of into archaeology, but you may have seen this, or so sometimes they have those like those little grates, and they put like dirt on it, and then they shake it, and the big pieces stay at the top, and then all the dirt and stuff falls at the bottom.
Yes.
I see that as that's what's going on with all of us right now, and there's
great
this
analogy.
shaking. Yeah, and all the stuff that's true is rising and is going to hang out and stay there. And that's the solid stuff. But then all this, the mess and the noise and the junk is just falling through the cracks because it doesn't resonate. I believe AI is a part of this, or else it would not be here right now.
I agree.
I also believe, so it has a role to play. I don't know what that role is, but it has a role to play. I believe we are far more powerful and as creators, and like you said, the word soul, and we infuse things with our energy. So if we decide to step forward in courage and belief, and that word you used, love, then that's what will come back at us. We are such powerful creators. That is what we will create then. And we have the power to create our reality. It is not our circumstances. It is not what someone tells us. And it is not our past or a story we tell ourselves or the programming. It is absolutely what we create in each moment. And that's what we have the power to do right now. So really the question is, what do y'all want to see? What do you want to see in the world? Because that which you see will become your reality. So what do we want to do, ladies and gentlemen? And I appeal to people's high selves, and I believe that's what we will see.
Oh my God, Suzanne, I have to breathe for a moment. That was that was beautifully said and delivered and crystal clear. Because no matter what verbiage you use, I have a lot of favorite words, but one is power. You said power quite a few times, but it's our individual power that's original and unique to us. That's how we're going to create this universe that was meant to be originally, I believe. The divine balance, the grounding between the male and the female, knowing that one doesn't exceed or eliminate the other. How we take that role that we're given and play with it and orchestrate it is up to each and every one of us. And I loved your analogy about the crates and shaking out and then only what's left. That was powerful. I'm going to stick and use that myself because that says a lot. And there's so many ways that it expresses clearly where we're at with AI. Because AI, and you said it's here to teach us something, to give us something, not to take. But people are putting too much of ourselves into it. I just think the work that you're doing, especially as a mom and homeschooling, I didn't know that. I missed that somewhere. I say, again, I don't bow and put anybody on a pedestal, but I send you kudos and much love because I know it's not easy. And time is everything. Time. And wherever you sit and whatever you believe, I believe, this is just my belief. I'm not pushing it on anybody else. I think it goes on and on and on. What was that song from, what was the song? Titanic? Love goes on and on and on, something like that.
Yes. My heart will go on. Yeah.
Yes. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, the heart. Suzanne,
Absolutely.
I don't know where the time has gone, but it's gone. And we're going to tell us I know I have all of your links here. We'll be putting them up so that people can get to it. But tell us a little bit about where people can find you and how they can find you, so when they go to look at the links, they'll know. And if there's anything that you're offering as a complimentary or a gift or something, anything at all that you wanted to leave us with, any pearls of wisdom, you have quite a few minutes here. You can share with us whatever you want. But tell us where they can find you. I know you're probably on Facebook and LinkedIn and so on, but what other platforms?
Yes, thank you so much for that question. So yes, I'm with my company, so aeomomboss.com. You can reach out to me there. Send me an email at Suzanne@aeomomboss.com. I check my own email, so I'm very open to that. And then, on the social medias, I mentioned earlier, I like to run. So I run 100 miles pretty regularly. So I'm Suzanne Luke on most of the social media, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, and X. So, and you could feel free to reach out to me at any of those platforms. And, and YouTube at aeomomboss.com.
we will put your links on everything, but I just thought if you could express it as you just did. Listen, let me ask you something. I'd like to end with a little bit of fun. You're running 100 miles. Did you say how often? Every day, every other day, every 2 days?
Every month. So the total of the month, I run 100 miles.
That's a lot. 100 miles every month.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I've ran it in a day before, but I wouldn't recommend that.
No. But I'm recommending to you, and you're much more knowledgeable than I may be with the microgreens and all, but make sure you keep your knees. Let's not have knee surgery or hip surgery or anything.
Yes,
but God bless
absolutely.
you. Good for you. I have to get back to you and find out a little bit more about, even though I know you're not doing it now, but it's always with you, the microgreens. But Suzanne, this was great. I mean, I learned a ton of stuff from you, and I can't wait to do a one-on-one with you and find out a little bit more about how you can support me with technology, because even though I love it, again, it's not my wheelhouse, but you have a heart for it. I see it. I feel it. I know it's true. So what can I say? Parting words?
Well, it's been a pleasure being here. I would love to pick your brain too. I know that your audience is you're awesome. So I would love that.
Well, my love, so are you. And there's a lot of picking up there to do. If you want to pick it, feel free. Just give me a date and time and I'll be there, because there's a lot rolling around up there and I love it all at this stage in life. But Suzanne, thank you for the compliments. I'm grateful and I appreciate it. But I just love proactive, involve women with what's predominantly been a male-dominated arena. And that's for sure the one that you're dealing in, that you're dancing in. That's not to say we're not emasculating and taking away from men, but we're doing it in a different way because it's our time for our awakening. So I'm just honored to have heard from you all the things that you're involved with and what you're doing. And I can't wait for us to do this again, and we will. In the meantime, so long for now. Be well, stay care. I'm blowing you kisses. And any parting words once again for the audience, whatever you want to say, the stage is yours.
I would love to say, listen to your intuition and follow that nudge. Follow that nudge. It will never lead you astray. You deserve to live in your purpose and your passion. And I wish you most love.
I love that. I love that. Thank you, Suzanne. You know, love, power, divine feminine, all of these words are favorite words of mine. I have so many, but thank you, thank you, thank you. Just stay there for a moment while I say to my audience here, wherever you are, morning, afternoon, evening, day, whatever time frame it is that you're in, I hope that you will take advantage of all the material that Suzanne has shared with us today. And remember, from my heart to yours, much, much, much love. And all of the wisdom that Suzanne shared with us about AI and where it's taking us and where we need to go. So much is twirling around in my head here. I'm thinking about what she said about 3 hours, not 3 hours, 3 days a week, sitting and having dinner, no technology. I think that's where we have to go. And she said so many other powerful things. You'll hear this over and over and over again. But my friends, be and stay well. And stay tuned, because we'll be coming to you every week, at least twice a week, bringing you new featured guest speakers. They'll all be different, but exciting, informative, entertaining, and educational for you and for me. So until we meet the next time, all the best. Much love. from my heart to yours, cheers.